If you know me, you know I've worked at a sub shop for 5 years. So I know a thing or two about sandwiches, and I thought I would go online and judge other sandwiches I found on Google Images. So here we go. So this first one, I don't know what it is. It looks like a carrot sandwich because there's no way that is not shredded carrot on there. That is just a disgrace altogether because for one, carrots should not go on a sandwich. That's like rule number one about making sandwiches is no carrots. That actually violates one of the laws about making sandwiches, and it's not up to sandwich code. I don't know what kind of cheese that is. It looks like it's probably like Swiss or something, if I had to guess. Either Swiss or provolone. But you can't make up for the carrots. It doesn't matter what kind of cheese you have. You can't make up for that. I'm gonna give the carrot sandwich a solid 2 out of 10. Would not eat, would not recommend. We have this ham sandwich. But as you can see, the ham is actually on the bottom of the sandwich, which is against the law of making sandwiches because it should be on the top. So this person is actually committing a felony by putting the ham on the bottom there. It almost looks like some cream cheese with chives or green onion at the bottom. Maybe that's mayonnaise with green onion at the bottom or below the ham. Either way, whatever it is, it's not a good thing to have on a sandwich like that. All sauces should go on one side of the bread, not both sides of the bread. So this violates the ham and bread treaty of 2017. So that is actually a really punishable thing right there. So this sandwich, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. It's better than the carrot sandwich because this looks like an actual sandwich, but still, it has so many violations, it's not even funny. So here you got a steak sandwich, or a Philly, whatever you want to call it. The steak looks amazing, looks like grade A meat. I would give that part a solid 10 out of 10. So this person obviously knew what they were doing, but I have a problem with that Kraft looking single on there. You can tell me that it's real cheese, but I have my doubts that I would even consider that cheese on there. It looks like a cheap Kraft single, which really degrades the whole sandwich. Makes it not even worth eating. I'll give the sandwich a 5 out of 10. It would have a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for the cheese, but that cheese, I don't like that Kraft single looking thing, okay? And then coming up next, we have this weird egg sandwich that obviously has honey mustard on it. So I'm not a big fan of mustard, but I feel like honey mustard would go with an egg sandwich, so I'll give it to them. That's a nice bonus. It's very, very nice. My problem about this is how they have the egg. Instead of having like a regular egg on there or even egg solid, they have a hard-boiled egg cut up, and if you do that, you are a psychopath. Don't even come at me. It's just plain and simple, you're a psychopath. And you need help if you make sandwiches like that. So I give this sandwich a solid 3 out of 10. Now it's time to move on. Okay, so that being said, let's move on to the big sandwiches. Because if you don't know, you know I have experience with sandwiches. Here's a picture of me that when I made a 3-foot sandwich. I made 3-foot sandwiches before. I also made 6-foot sandwiches before. I made sandwich platters. I made regular sandwiches. I made mini sandwiches. I know a thing or two about sandwiches. So let's get on to the big sandwiches. So here you have this monster. I would say that's probably a 3-foot sandwich. But, you know, it looks like it's probably like a cold cut or a ham. But again, I don't like the layout of this. You see avocado there. But for a sandwich this big, it would be better to have guacamole or something to spread on the bread so that you don't have the avocados falling out every 2 inches. But that being said, I have a problem with how the whole thing is just laid out. It does not look like a good sandwich. It looks like it's about ready to fall apart. I mean, just look at the end there. When you look at the end, that tomato looks good, but it has a piece of wet lettuce on it. The avocado is just barely sticking on. If it wasn't wet, it wouldn't be sticking that correctly. All in all, I give this a solid 2 out of 10 because I will not touch that sandwich with a 10-foot pole because it just looks like it's diseased and can barely breathe. And for this last one, you got probably one of the most disgusting sandwiches ever. This looks like it has sauerkraut, hot dogs, whatever that stuff is. It looks like it's about ready to fall apart. You can't butt in one thing. And I just realized there's a weird clown in the background. So that being said, I give this a solid 1 out of 10. This person has no business making sandwiches. Their sandwich making license should be revoked, and it should be outlawed that they ever make a sandwich again, because that sandwich is a felony. It violates so many sandwich codes and laws, it's not even funny. I feel like I need a shower after even looking at this sandwich, because I'm so disgusted by how that sandwich looks. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this. When you make sandwiches, just look at some videos, know what you're doing, and so you don't violate so many sandwich laws and codes, because sandwich laws and codes should be taken very seriously, and they're not to be taken lightly. And some of these people, it's obvious that they have no idea what they're doing, but they still tried anyways, and they failed horribly, and it's not acceptable. And I believe they should be fined at least $10,000 to go to jail for like 90 days. I don't know. I feel like that is a reasonable punishment. But that's all I have for this video. Don't forget to subscribe down below, become one of my first subscribers, and enjoy the rest of your day.